My name is Tyler Leek. I'm from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, by way of Midway, North Carolina. I am a jazz trained musician. I love to play gospel music. I love jazz music. I love hip hop music. I love trap music. I love classical music. Any type of music that I can express myself in, I love to play. I had no type of technical training in music or in percussion studies at all. So I came to school. I had everything was just turned upside down. What I thought I was coming for was exactly opposite. So when I got there, it was like, all right, we got to learn how to play violin. We got to learn how to play marimba. We have to learn how to write and read scores, for big bands and for small groups. And, that kind of, it blew my brain at first. And it was like, oh man, it's a lot. But, after grasping it and getting the hang of it, I started realizing that I was learning a lot more than I thought I was. And like I said, that's when the whole world music came in, as far as like writing, manuscript, all of that type of, all of those things that go into actually being a complete artist, that's where it started in school. So. That's pretty much my ground of my music influence and my musical sounds. I'm influenced by a lot of great gospel drummers: Calvin Rogers, George Spanky McCurdy. That's a big one right there. Spanky is a big influence, man. Calvin Napper, he's a hometown hero. Pocket, as they said, his pocket is so crispy clean. My influences in jazz, the biggest influence that has provoked my music all around is the music of Elvin Jones and just his approach to the kid, but more so his approach to the environment. It's like he's a changer. Art Blakey, that's another one, a beast of a drummer, just a freight train of a drummer. Man. It's so many drummers that I could name. Another major and personal influence is Ali Jackson. He's been a mentor and has shared a whole lot of light, more so in life, So he's a big influence. Max Roach, Greg Hutchins, Eric Harlan. It's too many cats. I had no type of technical training in music or in percussion studies at all. So I came to school. I had everything was just turned upside down. What I thought I was coming for was exactly opposite. So when I got there, it was like, all right, we got to learn how to play violin. We got to learn how to play marimba. We have to learn how to write and read scores, for big bands and for small groups. And, that kind of, it blew my brain at first. And it was like, oh man, it's a lot. But, after grasping it and getting the hang of it, I started realizing that I was learning a lot more than I thought I was. And like I said, that's when the whole world music came in, as far as like writing, manuscript, all of that type of, all of those things that go into actually being a complete artist, that's where it started in school. So my percussion professor, Thomas Taylor, the great Thomas Taylor, great educator, good player, good person, humble, but he keeps it, as they say, funky. He keeps it funky with you. He keeps it honest. So he can easily tell when you walk in the room whether you've practiced or whether you have not practiced. And so to go through, an hour of, in that kind of like, practice enough. He's just like, okay, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this. I was a little opposed to moving to Washington D.C. because I didn't think that I would fit in such a what at the time I thought it was a very city environment, and so coming up here I was a little homesick at first, but you know the speed and the amount of work that was going on actually took my mind off of not being home and not being comfortable, and moving to DC about 2.5 years ago. It was one of the best things I've done, man. I think that I came at a very unique time, and this is from what I'm being told by a lot of the staples in the music community around here. It's like you came at a good time. Of course, they had like the Gentrification Act, and where they're trying to push the music out the way, push it outside of DC, or just get rid of the arts in general. And so I think I came at a time where it was like really rejuvenating itself, or like just finding that vigor to keep going and keep pushing. I mean, unfortunate situations like the Bohemian Caverns being shut down. That's a prime example. And so, just getting out there and trying to rub shoulders with any and everybody, that are positive people, but it's a lot of love in Washington, D.C. in all types of, I don't know, cliques or squads, as you call them. But somehow everybody, they network here, and they circulate all the gigs through each other rather than saying, all right, we're going to keep this gig right here. It's just us, and I think that's what makes this environment or this scene work so well and smoothly. And of course, I'm learning you have some people that just, they're not as friendly, or they don't get with the teamwork idea, which is, cool. But I think the majority of people around here stick together, especially in the arts. As far as being able to make your own without too much assistance, being able to play the instruments, whether you want to put together a song or a CD, an EP, LP, being able to say, hey, all right, I may not be the best mixer or masterer, but I need to know something so that I'm not fully depending on someone else. Or I need to know how to play this bass line, or at least construct a solid idea. So then I can say, hey, this is what I need and this is what I don't need. So that was very important hearing that. He would always say, hey, what are you going to do after you leave? How are you going to continue to work in this field? It's not an easy field. And so, being as versatile as possible, but at the same time authentic to what you're playing and what style you're playing, and then being sensitive to who you're playing with, because everybody doesn't play a funk groove or sing the funk groove like James Brown. Everybody doesn't swing like Coltrane, or some people want that avant-garde feel, like that Ornette, just a blob on a piece of paper type of feel, and then some, others, they want that very straight, clean cut type of feel. So, what I bring to the table as far as being versatile, being able to play in multiple genres as a percussionist, it helps me to continue to work, But then you got some people that play everything in there, they're always working, So being as versatile as possible. I heard Dennis Chambers, that was big influence when I was young, and still now, but I heard Dennis Chambers say in an interview, he was like, the second I close my ears is the second I'll stop working. And so he was like, I always want to have like an elephant ear type of vibe or type of situation. Don't shut anybody's music off. Even if you feel like you don't like it, you need to listen to it, put your ear on it so that you know what's going on. Just in case you get that call and someone's like, hey, I want you to play such and such as music. Can you be here at this time? If you haven't really put your ears on it, then you don't know, one of the heaviest influences so far has been by a bassist by the name of Taurus Mateen. And, just from the playing, man, it's just like fire. Like, he sets you on fire in a good way. It's like iron sharpening, iron, sword to sword, metal to metal. But just the verbiage and the knowledge that he has and the way he approaches, situations, whether he's talking or whether he's playing, that was very provoking for me. And that's kind of where I learned, like, to really just let go of, any idea that you thought you had, throw that out the window. It's like, what's right now? Like, what are we doing right now? I definitely like to get the feel out of who I'm working with, and where they, what their thoughts are about music. I try to, even like this interview, sometimes I feel like I'm interviewing, people. I like to ask questions. I'm intrigued, and that helps me as far as the direction of the music, or like, what do you need? What do you really need from me, or what are we creating? Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's that.